Hey everybody, we're going to get to do a video today and I think you're really going to like it. What do you do when you get so much junk thrown all over a workspace? As you know, late last summer, I redid the workshop here and I'm already getting it all junked up. It's kind of getting to me a little bit. I like things clean and neat, but when I'm working I just seem to make one mess after the other. I have this pile here and this pile here and this pile here. Well, a good thing to do when you get a pile going, of course you know you're going to have to sort it and put it away eventually. So while you got that pile there, why not sit down and make yourself a bunch of easy peasy earrings from the stuff that you got piled up. And pretty soon your pile goes down, you have a few quiet hours of fun and the earrings can be sold and it's all good. And now you can start sorting your stuff and that's what I've been doing here. And I want to share with you some easy peasy earrings because that is the December challenge at the Beast of Boutiques Creative Group. And we're going to have a lot of fun with it because it's a busy month and people are, you know, preoccupied with family and fun. But easy peasy, if you got 15 minutes you can do it. You can clean up a little bit of your workspace and throw them in your Etsy and make some money. So I want you to step over to the workbench with me and I'll show you a few things that I've been doing, a few little design tricks that I like to incorporate for movement and flow and make the earrings a little bit more tactile and fun. And I'm sure you'll be off and running with it in no time. So come on over and let's make some earrings. So as you can see, I have a real mess going on here, and it's not the only mess down here, but it's a lot of fun stuff. And you can tell too, I've been busy. I made all these earrings in about an hour, except this pair I had made already. Probably you saw them on my Facebook page. Maybe I showed them in another video, I'm not sure. But it's the fan stampings with the leaf and the keys and the green patina brass, which we're out of these already. People have loved them ever since I showed these earrings, and we're waiting on more to come. The green patina brass has really gone over well because with the mixed metals and stuff, it really it gives a little color and it's nice. But I made these the other day. These ones too I had shown at Facebook, and a number of you have gone off and run with this idea, which thrills me no end. I like Kate's ones that she did. She put a wing on them. But basically these are on the long kidney wires that we sell at the site. And I took the Tim Holtz Trinket pins, which you get, I don't know, it's like 10 or 12 in packages for very little money. And I drilled a hole in them, and then I hung some stuff from the bottom. It's actually some old metal buttons and some keys and a little sprocket steampunk thing. And I was wearing these earlier in the video. As you can see, they hang nicely. Can you see that? So maybe you could see what you can do with that idea. Just a few beads on the wire, hang the trinket pin, then you've got a hole here at the bottom of the pin, and then you can hang some more from a jump ring going through it. So that's how that goes. And to just show you a little more closely on the Tim Holtz trinket pins, these two I've dimpled them so that they could be drilled. Actually, the metal is relatively soft. If you have an awl on your bench block, you may be able to go right through them with an awl and then just file a little bit. This is a center punch. We sell them at the site. It's got a little nib on the head. This is what you do, is you put them on the bench block. Not on wood, on a bench block, which is off camera right now, and we're not going to move over there. And then you give it a whack. But it's got to be metal on metal, so you would never do it on this surface. It would be on your metal bench block that you would do it. And like I said, if you've got a sharp awl, you might be able to just go through it and file it. But I have this dimpled nicely, so I could take it over with my Dremel drill or just my hole punch. I have one of these. This is a Tim Holtz hole punch. But we have some nice ones on the website that work the same way as this. I'm not even sure why I have this. Someone might have given it to me. But anyway, they work the same way, and then you can go through it and get a hole in that. And that's what I like to do with those trinket pins too, to make them into connectors. And you'll see, if you look at my work, very often I have these trinket pins as connectors in my work because they just work out so nicely for that. But the hole isn't finished on these yet, so we won't be using them today. But show you how I do it. Show you some others that I did this afternoon. This has a finding from our website. This is polymer clay that I cut out from a sheet of clay and glazed with Ranger glossy accents. I punched some holes in it. So I hung these down off the edge for flow. I love movement in earrings. And if you see, it kind of gives you the idea of maybe a woman who has her ear pierced 3 times, and you know how the earrings would fall on the side of the ear down, kind of in a cascade effect. And I've used a big old sewing snap, which I love using sewing snaps. In steampunk or industrial or techie style jewelry or found item jewelry, I love using, these are actually not old, they're new, but I love old ones too, so I put that at the bottom. If you wanted to, you could hang even more stuff from that, but I thought it was long enough. And then at the top where I put the jump ring through, I put a washer and a little cascade of pure copper chain. And these are really kind of neat that way. They're very cascading and flowy. And they took like a whole 10 minutes to make, so they weren't very hard. These have the handmade ear wires, which I've showed you on a previous video how to make. And then I used a finding that we have at the website with the bird. And I like to hang chain. I've got it in back. You see, I've got it through the jump ring in the back. And also in the front, a little piece, and then a washer, just to add some movement and interest to the piece. A little dingly dangly. Easy peasy. Doesn't take long. You just cut your chain off ahead of time, measure it, and make sure you know that it's going to be equal so that you don't have one earring hanging longer than the other. But it's very simple. And you might see the little design element that has kind of been something that I've done for a long time. I'll take these big, I think these are 10mm jump rings, and I'll put a little piece of heishi or an e-bead on it, or a little crimp bead, just for movement. See that? You see? And put it on my earring. And these are the jumps. We have them at the site. And they're thin. You can move them with your fingers, which is nice. So long as you get them nice and flush when you get them back, you know, in place, it's fine. Just use them, move them with your fingers. But yet they're very sturdy. So I really like that. I use these all the time in my work. And then I use these eye pins a lot in my work too. They're 4 inches, and they are a brass ox. And what I use them for a lot, besides the obvious, is, I showed you this in a video before, but I'm going to just go repeat it. You leave the eye hang off of a marker, Sharpie marker or a Krylon marker or whatever. You see that? Can you see? Now I'm going to bend it around. Slide it off. What do I have? That's going to be an earring, right? So all I have to do is just bend it right here, cut it a little bit, and then round it off with the wire rounding tool, which I don't have handy right now, but just to get this softened a little bit on the end, and I've got an earring. If I want to, I can put it on my bench block and flatten it a little bit along the way to give it a real good handmade cool look. But that's how you do it. That's all there is to it, just to reprise that. And I use our 4-inch brass ox eye pins to do that, so then you don't have to worry about your eye being, you know, all the same or anything. It's already done for you, and it helps, and you can do it faster. But that's just one way. I put that aside for later. Okay, to go on, here's another pair that I made this afternoon with a little leaf stamping, a little bit of chain, chocolate ox backing part, some beads, again these jump rings, and a copper ear wire, so that it brings it together. I love the look of mixed metals and foliage, flora and fauna type motifs. Who would like to wear those? Those are fun, easy earrings. Okay, these I really like, and I'm going to make these again. We're going to make a pair of earrings together. But as you see, I've used this finding here for my backer, and this was raw brass, and I ran it up underneath the torch. That's why it's a little bit iridescent. The torch does that on the raw brass. Okay, and then you seal it with a little bit of Renaissance wax if you want to keep it like that, or some spray lacquer, whatever. That way it won't change anymore. It will stay like that. And then I have layered on a leaf. We have these at the site in the green patina. Some washers, a little heishi bead or an e-bead, and then some chain hanging down from the back. So let's do this together. I have all the parts laid out, I think, here that we need, except I don't have all my chain cut yet. So we'll do that. And to show you how I have a piece cut here I've got to get it even, so I come up to the middle. Another one, maybe. Okay, I've got a little bit over on this end, so I get rid of this. Okay, you want a really good sharp flesh cutter. Sometimes mine get dull down here and it's a plague. You want always good flesh cutters for your shop. Okay, these pieces of chain we want to hang in the middle, but not quite the middle. We want it to be off kilter just a little bit. So hang on it. Probably cat hair. Meep's been down here. He likes to take over the place. So we'll just thread the 10mm skinny jump in there to the back. We're going to put this in the front so it hangs down the back. Okay. Next is going to come our leaf. Next is going to come our flat washer. Next is going to come our corrugated washer. And now we would probably like to put a little bead in there. So let me get one out of my bin here. Make more mess in my stash, huh? I'll be down here all night sorting. Okay, now I'm going to turn this shut with my fingers because I can. But you don't have to. If you'd rather get something to do it, you can. Okay, now I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to find out what I'm going to put it on first. Am I going to put it on this? Okay, if I put it on this one, I don't need another jump ring. So I'm going to put it on these handmade wires I made. That'll be cool look. Okay, now here I need to kind of get this. This is very crucial that you get this nice and flush so nothing falls off your earring. Okay, there we go. Easy peasy. There it is. Let's do the other one. So once again, let's see which way is this hanging. Okay, so we want the long length this way. If I don't get this quite right, I'll fix it after we're done. But you'll get the idea, and that's the main thing, is that you get the idea, and that you can have fun. Yeah, I do believe that's a little long. My finger, I must have had too much coffee today. It's kind of fumbly. Okay. This will be good enough for now. You know, you can also just trim it with your flesh cutters too if it's not the right length that you like. So there's many ways to deal with that. Alright, let's find a bead that'll go on here with all this other chotch. See how that goes. Alright, good. Good, good, good. Alright, here's my other handmade ear wire. I'll thread that through there. And now, I'll probably go ahead and take my flat nose pliers and close that nice and flush. Very, very important so nothing comes off. And that could be even a little closer. Alright. Here we go. Easy peasy. How about that? Aren't those fun? Let me put them back on my thumb a little bit. You can see them better. You get a good shot of that, Robbie? Does that come up good? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, those are cool. I have to trim this one just a little bit. But that's kind of sort of how it goes. So you just have fun. See all this garbage I got sitting here? I could probably sit here all evening just making earrings. And you know what? I just might. And you can bring your earrings made with our findings, polymer clay, ice resin, castings, Gouter's paste, fiber. Come over to the Bisou Boutique's creative group. You can take note of the group criteria. And if you have something that you think applies to what we're doing there, we would love for you to upload a picture and show us what you're doing, especially if you're using Bisou Boutique's findings, because I would truly love to see what you're doing with the things that I have selected for you at my website. So everyone have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day. Every day is precious. You're all special to me. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.